Anatolii calling out Ashton, saying things like, let's see with international travel, there is the IPF standard, it's strict, etc.
Anatolii called me out and said I needed to travel and, whoop everybody.
This is trouble. This is big, big, big trouble. Game on.
That was the nail in the coffin.
Ashton is on point today.
Every single training session, I thought about beating him and anybody else who showed up.
Ashton Rouska.
There it is.
Your 105 kilo world champion.
My dad was enlisted in the Army. I was all over the place. I was born in Tennessee, lived a lot of my childhood out in North Carolina and Germany. I went to Korea, but I actually kind of had my first real brush with powerlifting during my 10th grade year of high school. I was about 15, 16 years old. I was living in Alaska during the time. I actually did my first powerlifting meet in Anchorage, Alaska. Once I actually got to go out and to step on a platform and to compete doing it, I wanted to wow some people and blow some people away, and I think I did that first competition. The rest is history. I just kept going from there. I loved it. I loved competing. I loved lifting heavy. I flew into Budapest, and that was actually the first IPF event I did. It was really cool to see these other guys from other corners of the globe coming together, and all of us coming together just to see, who could put up the most weight. I wanted to show the world, not only am I from the US, but the best comes from the US, right?
It's Team USA or bust, and this performance by Ashton is a bit of a warning shot for the other 105s. He's here. He's coming for titles. He's coming for it all.
So some of the meets that were very influential. The first one is 2017 meet that I did in Orlando, Florida. I actually faced off against the reigning world champion. And I think I was kind of the dark horse going into that meet. I think a lot of people didn't peg or expect me to win that one. I didn't even expect to really win that one. I wanted to place top 3, and if I could win, then I would go for it. On the day, the opportunity presented itself and I won my first national title. It was a big deal for me. I was like, wow, out of all of the people in the nation of any age in terms of powerlifting, I am the best right now. At that time, I was also, training very rigorously to become an Army officer. I was running a lot. I was rucking a lot. I was doing a lot of physical activity outside of my powerlifting training. I was also very much immersed in my academics as well in college. And so I had to wear a lot of different hats and I had to juggle a lot of different things at that time too. There was more pride in knowing that I could be the best and win even under all of those circumstances. One of the reasons I didn't go to Worlds was because travel was just difficult in my current job. Part of it was also just like chasing competition too. There were certain people that I wanted to prepare to compete against that weren't necessarily going to be at Worlds. And I didn't want to go to Worlds for, an easy sort of win that would have been a little bit, I think, meaningless. I think that was my thinking at the time. And then 2023, that was a difficult one to pass up because I wanted to topple the best lifters in the world. I wanted to make a statement and prove something. I wanted to go against Bob Matthews and Keenan Lee. I wanted to prove to the world that I can go against the best of the best. I can go toe-to-toe with them despite whatever I'm doing, and I can still come out on top. And I was able to do just that. If it meant nothing to the world, cool, but it meant a lot to me. There's a couple of big reasons why I really wanted to do this World Championship specifically. I think it's an important piece of the legacy. I don't think that my powerlifting career, profile would be complete without an open IPF World Championship title on it.
And here comes Ashton Rouska. Look at this. He's taking a 30-kilo jump.
Monster squat in an opportunity to take the lead.
Here he comes.
For years, we've been waiting for Ashton.
The people who say that I dodged international competition for all those years. I mean, sure, they have a case there. A lot of them failed to appreciate, again, the lifestyle that I had, the activities that I was engaged in, and what I was doing domestically here at home. They didn't know my lifestyle. They weren't fully aware or appreciative of what I was doing. And I was taking on a lot. It just wasn't in the cards for me to do it at that time. And I think that the time that I did it and came back, this past World Championship, I think it was the right time for me to do so. The stars kind of aligned and, everything at that point screamed to me, Ashton, you need to go do this now. And you need to go beat this guy because everyone thinks that you can't beat this guy for some reason.
Ashton living up to the potential. Beating a guy like Anatolii for the world title.
And to beat him when he was on such great form means so much more.
It's very hard for us to be the best man that we can be if we don't go through any adversity or struggle. I do hard and challenging things and I overcome, and that's just who I am. Coming up as a child in a military family, where my father was gone a lot, I wasn't just exposed to great men that were accomplishing and doing great things. I was exposed also to a lot of men who maybe were not blessed with the same level of talent or, other characteristics that I've seen some of these magnificent people have. And in spite of that, they were able to do amazing things. They were able to be brave. They were able to be bold. They were able to be confident, and in the face of adversity and in the face of fear, they were able to go out and do what needed to be done. And my father was one of those men, right? One of the things for me also is to respect what my father has done and all that he's sacrificed, and to be somebody. I'm almost compelled and obligated in a sense to do that, to be somebody and to be a force in this world. At Sheffield, you're trying to beat a world record. I'm going to have to train very hard for it, and I'm going to have to do things that I've never done before. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do my best. I deserve to be there. My name deserves to be next to all these other names that are considered to be the greatest and the best. It's a huge title to have for legacy, because there's going to be very few men that will walk this earth that will be able to say that they were able to go to that meet and win it. And I would love to be one of them. In my heart of hearts, I know that I need to win it. And I will do, short of death, whatever it takes to do that. Every man that shows up to that meet, you need to be ready, and you need to expect me to be the biggest threat.